Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Oh, that would be a
For the twins.
The bristle.
Radiant's
not good. And I think Blocker is more important to at least this phase of the game. Yeah. I think if you see Alpha trying to go up the high ground, it makes more sense to give the Aegis to the Bristle back. And he's the one that's going to be ultimately hitting the building and tanking most of the
Well, with a couple items nearly under the belt, Kaka 100 gold away from Tiger, and very soon the link is on a Weaver, perhaps they can escape the clutches of LFY.
That was a vivid little
under the belt, Kaka 100 gold away from Tiger, and this is really scary. Yep, blood mixed with lightning mixed with ice.
You mean oil? Because that's China.
That sounds like a very dark ritual.
Is he?
Perhaps the one at the bottomless pit.
It's the petroleum seeker in China.
Petroleum seeker?
Are you serious? That's awesome.
Right? It's just a black,
That
brown.
was okay. Skeleton.
Can we please before him?
The Vaseline seeker.
I hope he's the Arcana winner, so we can see some sweet petroleum seeker cosmetics.
I can't get over it. Oh, it's amazing.
Okay, Kaka has blink, he's good. But is he gonna eat this?
Oh, not
Those
on
jukes, those moves, so beautiful. They do find Mr. Moogie. He tries to jump in, he gets punished again. The Bloodseeker is
That
just always
silence
ready.
is obnoxious. 6-second silence is.
It's that with the fissure, because they just catch him from so far away.
Yeah, this is
That combo.
no the chicken.
Run, Yin
Radiant's
Fox.
courier has been killed.
Did it deliver? No items. Or you did
Yeah,
Rupture that bird in rage. Show him what's up.
hold him. It's the thought that counts.
Oh,
though.
but actually changing his build, going for the Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade.
I need Silver Edge.
Shadow Blade.
Does he need Silver Edge?
I don't know what the Shadow Blade's for.
I also don't know what the Shadow Blade's for.
Without consequence.
Silver Edge Gravekeepers?
Uh-oh. This man just wanted to cut the creeps. Kaka. He's gonna cut and run, but he ain't getting very far.
With the A and Zeus, it's super easy for Bloodseeker to run people
Dire's
down.
bottom tower
Yeah, maybe
is
that's the
under
plan. Instead of playing more Oak Blade.
structures are fortified.
Oh, they think they see another easy opening.
The net worth is actually still pretty
Dire's
close.
bottom tower
Quap's
is
still
under
keeping up in
attack.
farms. He hasn't died in a very long time. However, he did
Dire's
go for a
bottom
very
tower has
aggressive
fallen.
orc build.
He's under attack.
Oh, they just narrowly
The
missed
Zeus
it.
jukes.
That he didn't even need moves.
Yeah, just need the Wily Wit, Lord of Olympus.
He is loud.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait for the ball. Oh,
Scouter. Keep it.
he might as well cast all right.
He wants to be in creep.
Dire's
In flame.
bottom tower
Oh, but he didn't see him. KP doesn't know.
Oh,
And now
Now he
it's
does.
always revealed.
easy push. Oh, birds. We'll scout
Radiant's
Afu.
top tower is under attack.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nice placement on the blood right to discourage Newbie's pursuit here. Well, they gotta hold a super, but he's a little off move to the mark. Now on the run, the epicenter. Raid the quadruple, the super's back. The solo, the bad player, they just can't go down. The follow-up is he stays alive. Monet tearing them apart. The backline's beating out the burrow. Still in this thing. Very low. Really go either way. And they able to get out of there with the blade now. Back to safety. Didn't have the blood rage.
I got going in.
It's gonna rip you.
Though he's fine.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Casual 405. They're gonna cut him off at pass, but the vision isn't there up the hill. Now they find super instead. He turns his back. He wants to run. Still a healthy plus 11 armor. They burrow through, but the blood rage protects him again. The evil sorcery.
Dire's bottom tower
bottomless
is under
pit.
attack.
And then Flame Joy.
Do we call it the petroleum, right? You're just slathering Vaseline all over the floor.
Who just Sal Bristleback? I think it was probably Zeus.
He doesn't have the inventory.
turns out Bristleback's pretty good. And they can't approach the backline at all. The Blood Right is incredibly good at zoning out the setup.
Turns out Bristleback's pretty good, period. Got him.
Thanks, Luby. Okay, Bloodseeker has foregone his first two choices and instead going for the S and Y.
I think if he wanted to get the run at people, I think the S and Y is just straight up better than the Shadow Blade, especially if you don't have a particular target you want to Silver Edge.
I think I've seen like 6 or 7 brigades in the past month, and this is the first one where he's able to actually stay alive and fight and weave in and out.
I'll take your tribute.
So I think that enables that further.
I think BKB is also another very strong choice if you're just running at people. Yes, there's a lot of like physical damage, but the fact that he doesn't have to worry about Burrow Strike or Slithering Crush is pretty important.
I did get a glimpse of Mr. Faith here. Tanking the gank, eating the fissure, Afu bringing the totem. And Monet collecting the kill. Nice little takedown. Meanwhile up top, they found the little man.
On your guard too.
Sad.
LF1, he's actually done a pretty good job at Inflame and not dying lately. Like he had 6 deaths in the first 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and he's only had 1 since.
Because he hasn't joined any fight since you were just.
Hey, he defended the mid-tier 2. I mean, he was a stalwart defense, a one-man army.
He was like, I'm kind of the fight by pressing my ult, but not really.
The downside is he's not getting to take advantage of the Blood Rage. But Seeker's never there to give it to him.
It's a little risky giving him Blood Rage because he just dies so quickly. Oh, that was a very long TP if they had Zero Ward up there. But very unlikely that they would, considering the position that LFY or SECC, that was a fine gamble. Net worth only 1,000. The majority of newbies' net worth, however, is going to be pulled into the defensive items for Step Kumiyasu for Sync. Can be Kumiyasu, Queen of Pain.
You can't from
Or Seven.
Fire, Ice, Petroleum. No, lightning, lightning, Ice, and Petroleum.
That just means even more flames.
Okay, Inflame, are you going to be able to scout out this observer reward? Oh, no. That sentry misses. Now it's on you, Inflame. Throw that bolt out. Scout out.
Has he been throwing bolts? Haven't seen a lot of.
We have not seen the just casual bolt lob.
Oh, you heard about to do it.
Now that no, just runs right by it. Gives up the gank as well that Mookie is running from. The Zeus ult comes through and meanwhile, why using the space to take the Roche KV.
That was a very fast campaign, wasn't it? Super with Silver to amplify as well as corrosive haze.
Yeah, also have Yules on the Zeus. To Wade. With that.
You just like end the picture.
Let's go for that on Zeus.
It's the way to go, man.
Dude, Nimbus Blood Right, it's a no-fly zone.
No fly zone.
And then it also cancels TP to get left when they split push, which is a big deal. If you can't split push, you're in a lot of trouble unless you BKB TP, I suppose. But
And you were saying the rupture Nimbus combo?
yeah, what do you do? Stay in there, you die. You run, you die.
BKB TP?
Or be so tanky that you can't get that. I don't really think any aren't even close to that phase. That's a dream. You just blade mail and just run around. Turning rupture.
Run around in Nimbus?
I don't know. I don't know
if you can tank all of that.
How does the damage reflect work on Nimbus? Does it reflect back to Nimbus or does it reflect back to Zeus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That'll be to Nimbus.
It's weird. Some things do, some things don't. Like Pugna out reflexive ward. Death Prof Wind Doctor reflexive ward, but I don't know.
Dire's middle tower.
Here it goes. High ground siege. She's in Bristleback's inventory. The thing about Bloodseeker Bristle is it turns him into a very good tower hitter when you can actually blood range them. Because usually they just ignore the bristleback, but it's very hard to ignore someone doing.
Here comes the wraparound though. Newbie looking for the big flank play. They've got an opening here for KP. He gets in, starts it off right away. The quad bolt comes through. They will drop fast here. The Lotus Orb came out to try and protect DDC, turn this fight, but another follow-up to Hero Burrow leaves them really with only the cores. They're going to buy back now, down an Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, Newbie are shrining up, looking for round 2. Monet trying to heal himself, and he will do so. The cores are very durable for now. Zeus stays alive. And now they go in, revving up the epicenter, dishing out decent damage. Good familiar stuns, preventing LFY from having an easy retreat. And Monet might just lose his Aegis here. Indeed, it will pop. BKB not yet complete, close to it in the stash. Siege is over, folks. Fantastic defense of the high ground by Newbie.
They had an observable on the left, so they thought they were safe. That's why they were positioned on the north side instead of in the trees. So they had that false sense of security.
Can they just go high ground now, though? There's no epicenter. There's no Quapple. Quap is also dead. And Super's on the move. There goes the enchant totem. The crush is split second late from KP. LFY might just be breaking the base, cracking open this Newbie egg and looking for the clean 2-0. Elena Brax will be huge. Do have to beware the deadly Weaver flank. The Ward is going to scout him, trying to weasel his way around, cut this wave.
I do like the way Mookie's playing, but the thing is he's
walking right into their clutches. The Echo's available. Are they going to jump him? Shaker starts it off, gets the fissure, follow up with the Enchant Totem. They bring him down. No buyback on the Weaver, out for 50. And now SCCC standing in the midst of a Bristle and an Ancient Apparition, not liking the feeling too much. Death to Quill, no buyback. Super still at full speed, still keep moving and pounding away with that mace. And LFY steaming all the way right through Newbie.
2-0.
And it's some interesting track as well. It's the best playoff.
Jaeger, God.
Yep. He played on their spirit.
Yeah, destroyed this series. Like they could not approach ever. Like they had the blood plus fissure of every single top people. And on top of that, the Icy Vortex, I think with the blood right, it makes it very hard to maneuver around the fight. They couldn't actually ever get in there. Every time they would try and go in, they would just lose 1-2 heroes immediately off the bat. And Bloodseeker is like, oh, hey.
I'll take your tribute. Killing spree. Double kill.
Illusion.
Ownage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Rock it on.
That's exact.
Incoming.
Dominating. Owning.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Thanks. Shrapnel.
I leave this world of hurt.
Behold! A prize!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Around!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Guns blazing.
Regeneration. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lovely.
Jackpot.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Try of silence! Stay near!
Yo!
Let's get inside.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Our roleplay ends. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Denied. Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Dead nap. Sacrifice.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Do it with flair.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Take that.
A prize.
Missing bottom! Rock it on!
Double damage.
I'm out.
Homing in.
Stay near.
Lock my works. Half shovel will bury.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm tarnished.
Worthy tribute.
I'll take your tribute. Twice me! Triple kill!
Like gears in the
You will
rain.
not rise in my presence.
I guess size ain't everything, huh? Oh, it is.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Wow! Wow! Shiny!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Stay near.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fortunes change. Invisibility!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hooked him! Boy! Fresh meat!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Lovely.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Jackpot!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And it's up!
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Denied.
How did you do that? That was canned laughter.
Voice.
Your actions are without
A
merit.
little advice. Stay dead.
Wow!
Incoming!
Regeneration.
Flares here! Boom! There it goes! Do it with flair! Ah, this will come in handy.
Get away.
Stay near. Silence.
Fresh meat. Double kill.
Can you dig it?
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rock it on!
Fusion.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oi!
Jackpot!
Fresh meat! Hey, come and help it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Worthy tribute.
Do it with flair. Flair's here.
Illusion. Time to fresh meat!
Roshan has fallen to the ring.
Take us alive. Who's that tough guy now, tough guy?
Double kill!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Boom! There it goes.
Wow!
Quickly as I go.
Let's get into
Incoming.
cut my losses.
Get up if you can.
Mega double kill.
My money.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
And now, it matters not to me.
Wicked steady kill.
Jackpot.
Wow!
Do it with flair. Ah, this will come in handy.
To punch.
Hold. Incoming.
Wow!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Your king is alive.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Boom! There it goes.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
A strange time to hibernate.
Players here.
Worthy tribute.
A prize.
Boom! There it goes!
Get back. Stay.
Coming in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Monster kill. A spare rib.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Blaze here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Watch me. Go.
I am done. Wonderful. Imponderable.
Double kill.
Afflicting.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Hey, that hurt.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I take that.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Generation.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
This will come in handy.
Behold! Bye-bye!
Invisibility.
Strange transformation.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire. Immortality.
Rock it on.
Fresh meat.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
I'll do the same
Just a
for
place
you.
to plant you. My ancestors welcome me.
May you ride on.
Coming in. Hurry the hands of the clock.
Worthy tribute.
In the Shade Shore ruins. Lovely!
Double damage.
Denied. Do it with flair.
Boy, fresh meat!
I and it's on. You punched out all of my blood.
This changes nothing.
Do it with flair.
Regeneration.
Boom, there it goes.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wow!
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Try that again, tough guy!
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
You mad?
Triple kill!
Rare
Ultra kill!
warning.
Flares here. Double damage.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Do it with flair.
Shiny! Illusion!
A prize.
Invisibility!
Changes nothing.
Death comes to all.
This will come in handy.
Get over here! Dragons, die.
Regeneration.
Fortunes change. Off like a shot.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Do it with flair.
Anywhere.
Rock it on.
Roshan has fallen to the dire. Immortality.
Coming in. Hey, Pudge. Boom, there it goes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Another block.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Time
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
I'll leave them all in my wake. A gift from the tempest of battle.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Zeus,
Silence. Greetings.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
killing spree.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Is this real? Am I
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. Well, one of them has to win next time they verse each other tomorrow. They're versing each other. That's how they break the curse.
Yeah, I've got another meme concerning Baby. It has to do with teddy bears, but I'm not going to explain that now because we don't have the series. So we're going to have to come back to that.
We may never have another series, Jack.
That's true, because the morning crew are going to probably be hopping onto that winter bracket final, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the order of matches is tomorrow. Maybe have a look. We might be on the winter bracket final.
And then we saw LFY take out Newbie 2-0. So again, LFY's kind of had their unique take on picks compared to the other Chinese teams. Like they don't have the biggest hero pool, but they have a lot of their own ideas on stuff. Whether it's Skeller Titan, whether it's the Bloodseeker, which I think only BG really runs. The synergy that they have, like the Bog, which LFY was saying known for the Bog. They have their own take on things, and I talked to Misery about this actually, because he's been around a little bit for some reason. Yeah, I really enjoy watching them. They really seem to innovate. DDC getting a chance to be captain for the first time, so it's worked out well for them so far.
Yeah, DDC's turned it up on that Oracle earlier today. I'm a huge Oracle fan, so it's always nice to see that hero
get some time to shine, and he was extremely defensive on it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Curious to see if any of these teams who
A
have
prize.
been on the bleeding
Look there!
going to be taking any sort of notes from those games previous or not, but it does look like, gentlemen, we have all 10 players in the lobby. The game is now loading up. Signature picks, things to look out for. We have the sudden meta rise of your CKs. We got Bristleback still floating in action a bit. And, you know, just look at your Sand Kings, just look at your high priority supports out there.
Sand Kings, Nixon, Bufford, there.
But it's amazing though. I don't know what EG is going to be showing up today.
My coil
lower brackets,
runs
so you
down.
think, oh, they're probably going to still want to like pull out something traditional. But we saw yesterday in their matchup against Clutch, at one that they needed to get the win to at least have a chance to stay in the upper bracket. They decided Sumail AA is going to be something we're going to go with. So I'm curious if we're going to be seeing some fun Sumail picks, or if we're going to
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You may have to.
A soldier's fortune.
Connected. I'm back into the lobby, and we are.
So, mid Pugner is doing.
They play Pug
Reach and behold!
in this event, and are 50-50. When it was on Sumail's game, unfortunately, it didn't work out so much. He gained a lot, but in the hands of Zai, the support position worked out a lot better.
What I thought was interesting about that is, so we've seen like EG, when they've had success in recent tournaments, like they pick Puck very early on, and then it becomes like a flex pick between a 3 or 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
So Sumail Universe. So what they've been doing is they also ran Venomancer. They've also obviously run as a core with Artor or with Zai, and then you saw with the Pugna as well, like a mid or a support. And so I almost feel like as part of like maybe their experimentation or trying things out for this tournament, they're trying to see like how many of these flex picks can we really get working for us comfortably, because that gives them more options at the start of the draft, which they may need against some of the, some of the better teams down the road. So I think, I don't know if they'll keep going with that in this series. They are in the lower bracket. And,
Dire team back.
I think that's why they try the Puck as a support even.
Why they try the Puck as a support even, see how flexible they can be with some of these heroes.
Right? Yeah, because that's
right.
truly scary, right? If you're picking a Puck and it can play 3 different positions, I mean, the things you have to account for just go up quite a bit. So
it changes the game so much when you don't know your opponent's lanes, because it's very easy to know whether you can get away with like a certain like greedy carry pick if you know the lane matchup is going to work for it. But if you suddenly have a different matchup than what you're expecting, you can just lose the game from the lanes. So we'll see what comes out here. Clutch banning, interesting they ban the Drow and the Puck. Normally you see most teams are seeing just ban one or the other, because by banning the Drow, the Puck offlane is as potent. You mostly throw the Puck in the mid, or you ban the Puck and the Drow is not as scary.
They leave the Wisp out there though. EG are not going to hesitate on grabbing it. Crit Wisp. He was once known as the greatest Wisp in NA.
I would have expected Wisp and Drow to be banned. I mean, the Drow is just such an enabler for whatever else they want to run. And
10 seconds
the Wisp
remaining.
is kind of just, I don't know, it's like, I think it's just got to be one of EG's scariest heroes no matter what. It, again, just gets so much done. It can come and win any of your lanes for you. The mobility that they like to play naturally around. Not that Puck doesn't provide any of that, but I feel like the Wisp is just more of a natural enabler than the Puck. So Wisp is going to be out there, and then that opens up a lot of options for them.
Sand King here for Clutch to get their first pick grab. Some teams have been doing that Witch Doctor in the first phase. I was curious to see if Clutch were going to go for it, considering it was already out there, but Sand King is just so good. Got to get it. And then the immediate follow-up is going to be our faceless friend, Mr. Faceless Void.
When you talk about CK becoming a meta pick as I think he's more like as that 3rd, 4th pick. I think the new emergence in the first stage for meta picks is Void and perhaps Phoenix. I mean, Sand King, these have always been there, but I think Void has become much more of a top pick lately. Same for the Phoenix. Not seeing a Phoenix here. I don't think we will from G, but that's more like what we've seen of OG and some of the other teams.
It was kind of like that last year's TI too. Like I remember Wings, for instance, would take a lot of Mirana or Timbersaw or Void very early in the draft. Like they didn't mind picking one or two of their cores because they were still flexible with the laning. That's like kind of been since Void's major changes like a couple patches ago. That's kind of been one of their advantages of the hero. And the hero also is like very difficult to deal with like whether you have a meta pick like a Bristleback or something like that the Void does well against. But if you can't burst him down or control him, then it's very hard to kill him, no matter what position he's in. So I think that's been a real advantage as well.
Here's that
you mentioned the flexibility there with this pick to run it as a support for crit, or in the hands of Arteezy. I don't think we've seen any male Venom, but I've definitely seen mid Venom from some other teams. Still pretty prevalent in pubs as well. Any pubs are rampant with Venom pickers these days.
Maybe was running that mid Venom a couple months ago, and he used it with some success as well. That build is very different. It's like a max Gale and poison. It's like a 4-3-0 build, and then if he gets rotation, depending on who the mid laner is, if it's a bit more static one, and they get rotations, like the kill potential is absolutely absurd against even like a Lina. I think back then was like Lina is a hot pick now, but like even more so back then with the talents, and it was just like if you hit Lina with the Gale and there's a +1, like the Lina just goes down.
Still, like you guys are talking about, a lot of flexibility available with this first phase set of picks, so we're not getting a whole lot of information out there. So I'm curious to see when we get into the second phase of bans if things are gonna become a bit more revealing. That CK is still an option out there, and we already know that. You know, Wisp CK is a classic pairing, so I'm curious if we'll get the ban. Sumail Storm Spirit obviously going to get the nod. It's always been a popular pickup, and when you have Wisp already on their team, just kind of enables him to do what he pleases.
Yep, focusing bans all on the cores, as you can kind of see with the Eye of Venom, likely supports, at least one of the two supports picked up, maybe even both. So likely we'll see bans on to mids, offlaners at this stage.
We can do an AA for clutch gamers. Do you know if they played at all? AA Faceless Void, plus you're going against the Wisp. Might be...
Yeah, it's definitely a nice option. I think AA's received enough buffs. We're seeing a few teams bust it out. For a little while, teams were first picking it. I think that kind of phase is over, but the hero is definitely quite powerful. Doesn't deal well with like the annoying Venom push. If it's like a safe lane farming Venom, I think AA is quite weak playing into that compared to maybe some other supports, but see. I think Invoker is something clutch, always eyeing off Armel's Invoker, perhaps his best hero. Obvious synergy with the Faceless Void. That's also why the Darks is banned. It's a hero that combos well with the Void. Putting an Iron Shell on him in the early game for his Chronos gives him some guaranteed damage output. But here's a good, another, it's the Void combos. Phoenix Void, another good combo. You Sunray heroes that are chronoed, but I think even better than that is your Phoenix can kind of initiate with an egg, and if they try and hit the egg, they're grouping up for that like 3 or 4 man chrono. We saw a few times that happened in the OG series where Fly would just dive in, drop a supernova, and it would set up like a very easy, straightforward chronosphere.
Well, they'll pass on the AA and go for the Witch Doctor, which was mentioned earlier in the draft as, you know, a strong, good counter pick to something like the Wisp, helping you set up some potential for good coconuts. And then not much after that, we are going to have the Earthshaker come out.
The Witch Doctor is I mean, it's a very frequent SCA pick, and some teams taking it very early on, and then it's had natural synergy with the Void. Obviously, like a couple patches ago, you could no longer plant his Death Ward inside the Chronosphere, but it still has natural synergy with the Void. And then also, it gives you some heal and sustain, and so against like the Venomancer, let's say you're dealing with the Poison Nova, it gives you some answer to that. And then, as a laner as well, can give you kill potential depending on what your core is. So, kind of can't ban everything that's synergized.
The Queen of Pain, mobile hero. Which doesn't care about the Venom so much. The slows, the gales, the wards, you can kind of just blink around, ignore them, and actually still get on top of heroes, so...
Yeah, burst down wisps and stuff.
Yeah, I like the philosophy behind this pick.
Participate outside of a Chronosphere, just feels like a strong, well-rounded mid-lane core option here for clutch.
And for EG, there's still that point where you really don't know what's happening with this draft. The Shaker, you assume it's the offlane, but it could be a support with the IO. The Veno, same thing. Likely Arteezy's hero, but can also be played as a support. It's not until you see this fourth pick where you're suddenly like, aha, this is probably what they're doing. And Spirit Breaker means that's going to be a support Spirit Breaker, Venom carry, Shaker offlane. Now you kind of know what's actually going on with EG's draft.
The Shaker has been also like a very highly regarded offlane pick for some teams. I think LGD will, like Old 11, they'll take it almost every time for him when it's available. You have the long range cancel on the Witch Doctor Death Ward, and then also he's like very disruptive into Chronosphere, so if you're expecting to set things up with the Chrono, you have the Earthshaker Fissure, being able to disrupt the damage or maybe create terrain, something that just gets in the way of the follow-up. So, and then obviously like the fact that you really can't stop him from getting his experience and levels for the most part, unless you make a very heavy commit, say past the tower to try to zone him from the poles and the fissure blocks. Then you can't really stop him from getting something that he needs out of the lane.
10 seconds.
See what Sumail's hero is going to be. A lot of bans targeted at him. Silencer.
Ooh.
hero that can match up very well in the 1v1 against the Queen of Pain. And I was thinking, like, Spirit Breaker isn't the best for actually ganking and being able to rotate on Quap because you can blink away, but potentially with a silence to set it up. Whoa.
That's an Underlord.
That's another SEA pick. This was mostly Fnatic who would run a lot of this. Ahio was playing this in the offlane a ton, so I think this is something which is developed in the SEA meta. And Clutch Gamers have taken it to MDL now, and we'll see how it fares. You know, kind of annoying matchup against the lane matchup's quite tough, but later on get if you can blow that Venom magic damage up. But
it's really interesting how they're going to be playing Lord Alone. You imagine the Wizard floating around with Simple in the mid lane. I imagine the Band King's playing the mid as well. So does Spirit Breaker work out okay as someone is known like this Underlord, or they don't want to run around the map? Even there safe. So.
Spirit Breaker is one of the heroes I think he's thought of as that roaming aggressive 4, but if you like the Treant Protector, a lot of teams will play him on their 5-position player. It will be Zion the 4, but you can send him to the safe lane. Treant's actually a fantastic zone support because his base damage is insane. He goes invis. Spirit Breaker, same thing. You just get more venom, you start whacking at the offlaner for a bash, and you're actually a pretty good hero to secure your safe lane despite being thought of as a roaming hero.
Fair enough. Looks like we got a game, gentlemen. Let's get into it. We are now going to be starting our adventure through the lower bracket of this playoff. For MDL, we have EG versus Clutch Gamers here. Remember, loser of the series, well, their Mars TV journey will conclude.
Boom backs up to the Sand King. Uh-oh.
He's been spotted, going a bit deep here.
He does block the camp that Universe wants to pull in the off lane.
Yep. We'll eat some shots on the way out and have to use that Burrow Strike to make it over the fissure, but he's going to be safe.
Looks like there's pings on that camp as if, hey, this is likely blocked. They sell the Observer Ward on him, but they know there was also a sentry. I mean, they don't, but they may guess they're pinging this camp quite a lot, and we'll see what comes of that.
They may end up scouting it to see if it spawns, and then try to quickly take it out in that 30-second window. Meanwhile, back and below the line, I was going to be curious here. We have Rappy going to be playing that Underlord in a matchup against what looks like RTZ's Venomancer. And indeed, Zai is going to be hanging around. Indeed, he does have the Orb of Venom, and it's going to be one to probably be zoning back that big, ugly-looking pig thing.
Yeah. Once Venom gets like a edge in the lane, kind of can be left alone, but ideally you want to support him in those first couple of levels. Give him a bit of an edge so he has the CS advantage, can get his boots up, his wand. He's going to get an Orb of Venom, it looks like, even on the Venomancer. So the fact he's going to get an Orb of Venom when Spirit Breaker has one suggests he is going to be left alone quite a bit.
One cause for concern, I think, if you're an EG fan, is the cores for CG match up pretty well against EG's cores. And with the Underlord that we've seen from Fnatic or other teams, like, this hero stops pushes very well. And so, and EG don't already have the best objective taking to begin with. It's like, feels like they're going to rely a lot on getting kills and kind of snowballing objectives. So if they're not able to do that, they can't push towers against Underlord, you basically guarantee into mid or late game where the cores for Clutch have a chance to shine. So that's something to watch out for.
He's thinking, lurking around this mid lane, but against two range heroes, it's kind of hard to be too effective here. But he will be able to fire a strike off if he wants to.
No, he doesn't want to. He wants to go look at him and then walk away, apparently. But he's letting him know that he is here. And you probably want to get too proactive if you're EG at that point. We also saw them zone back Rappy quite a bit. He had to force out the early TP. He's still just level 1 and half of level 1. Two tangos to work with, but the zoning back from the Spirit Breaker is working pretty good for now.
Kind of what I like to see happen from these Spirit Breakers early on when you've got that IO. Just take it upon yourself to go to your safe lane for the start and then roam later on once you get a few more levels. Once Veno can be left alone, this lane will change quite a bit.
Yep, and Uber Lord does take to the jungle, so once I kind of recognizes he's not going to be back in the lane, he can either A, pull the wave a bit like he is now and get some solo XP, or could decide to start charging about the map and looking for some potential setups.
It's very slow jungle. Level 1 Underlord doesn't really do this particularly efficiently. He's had to use 3 Firestorms.
Oh god, the bird!
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got to respawn too. That was value. And got a bounty rune on his way home. Gets his level 2. Works out for him okay there. That was very close.
Yeah, but, you know, we have Universe who's able to kind of hang in the lane. He gets his own bounty rune, it looks like. He now notices the camp is blocked. They actually missed the sentry, so he doesn't have access to that camp. So it could be going even better for Universe, but at the moment he has been nerfed down just a bit. But look at this. Now we have a rotation coming out. Fly solo on the Witch Doctor. Now kind of taken to the mid lane here. Knows he has the power of the coconut, and if he gets a good setup on the crit Sumail, this could lead to a good first blood. So he begins to creep in. Coconut throws it out, and it does find a second connection on the crit. No follow-up, but they strike onto Sumail. Crit with the overload. He's trying to help out with their damage reduction, and it is going to be good enough. They turn their attention onto Fly Solo. We'll be able to get him down, and it looks like they could make it a twofer. Zai gets in on the action, and Boombox could be next, but he's got the speed of the boot, and he's going to be able to make it away. Charge though onto Armel. Even gets the follow-up bash. Fly Solo is back now though, and EG will pump the brakes a bit, but it's going to be EG who get the first blood on that gank attempt.
Man, it's Crit having a salve. He actually doesn't have a bottle on Io, but if he had a bottle, Silencer dies there. But because he has a salve, it's faster regen, it's more regen. He just pops his overcharge and salves up Sumail through the entire thing. Sumail probably tanked about like over 1,000 damage there, I want to say, in that gank, but he survives all due that IO heal. Really good play from Crit.
Overcharge plus salve was definitely
and
life-saving.
EG just felt so ready for this. You see this ward they have above that cliff, so they were able to see that rotation coming. And then Silencer, not a very mobile mid-hero, so he's a bit susceptible to these rotational ganks, but the Wisp and the Spirit Breaker both make up for that. And there's kind of, again, like a ripple effect as we see a skirmish.
Yeah, top lane, they're putting pressure onto Universe, but Crit has stepped in along with Zai. They're trying to help him out, but there's just too much firepower. Universe going to be going down, but EG attempting to go for a bit of redemption. Boombox narrowly escaping yet again.
The kind of the ripple effect I was going to say from the Underlord, because generally when you pick this hero, you expect him to be able to get something out of that offlane, not have to go immediately to the jungle, especially if he's up against only 2 heroes, one of them being a melee support. You would expect him to be able to get more out of that, but since he's zoned and he's not able to, that frees up the Spirit Breaker to really just go around and start wreaking havoc. And again, as you said, not have to protect the Venomancer at all after those early levels because of the autonomy that he has.
The scary thing with this Venom is he's farming the lane and the jungle at the same time. He just sets up his wards, he farms that big camp, he stacks it, and he's also farming the safe lane. TZ is going to be a big issue this game with how much farm and experience he's getting.
And he just has those deep roots of Dota playing where he knows to take these kind of heroes and max the efficiency grind. Like Naga in particular stands out to me, and one of those things that when you kind of know what's in the meta, you grind your way through it to know exactly all the min-maxing of farming efficiency with that lane. It's being demonstrated here quite nicely by RTZ right now.
And also something to watch for, like if it's a core Venomancer on Radiant versus Dire, because Radiant doesn't have the same like tri-camp areas that Dire has, where you can hit both the Ancients and 2 camps.
Yeah.
But it does have these kind of like lane areas where you can do that. This safe lane being notable. Like, you can do that on Dire as well, but just trying to maximize the farm, and like the safe lane is like the best position for him to be able to do that.
And without really any threats coming at the moment from CG, he can just do it scot-free. EG's support duo at the moment have been kind of off the radar, but they have spotted Boombox nearby, so they'll pressure him a bit. Zai even committing him with the charge, but as he approaches the high ground and joins arms with Rappy, EG will obviously, you know, pump the brakes there.
Level 7 Veno very early on. This is perhaps this bottom tier 1 tower going down quite fast. The nice thing about this Underlord pick is it does clear the creep wave pretty effectively and also draws the aggro off the tower, but it won't deal with the wards. But at least being able to pull the creeps means that tower will stay alive a little bit longer. And I think that was a big reason behind this Underlord pick, is they wanted a hero that could just sit bottom, doesn't want to rotate, just wants to sit in this bottom lane and continue to protect this tower as long as possible. So TZ will over time get
jump onto Sumail in the mid lane. It's a 3-on-1, so this should be pretty swift from CG. Good setups between the Coconut and Boombox on that Burrow Strike will make it possible. Just a good opening right there. Some ward vision in that mid lane. They probably saw a window of opportunity to kind of make that play.
Yep. I feel like they do need to be active, find a way to get this Sand King involved early on as possible. Couldn't do a whole lot in the early levels against 2 range series, but now with some smoke, some Witch Doctor rotations, he's trying to... I mean, the smoke failed mid, but then he went top, successfully kills Earthshaker, gets a successful kill there. And again, smoked up, looking for another kill.
Yeah, they're eyeballing this mid lane, but we just saw Zai and Crit return to the mid lane. They're actually taking their leave and heading up north to that top lane. So as Sumail shows himself back in mid once again, he could get jumped for the second time straight. And actually, here it's going to be happening right now. Fly Solo moving in from behind. There goes the Coconut. There's the Maldic. The Burrow should be coming in right now. And that is going to be the end of Sumail. Meanwhile, top lane though, a dunk comes out and they will get Gabby as their response. Simultaneous gank action from both teams, both successful.
Yeah, successful smoke ganks, both teams losing a pretty big important core hero. The Silencer perhaps the tougher loss because he's trying to farm a Midas, he's not a good catch-up hero, whereas Void, you can just play around the Chrono if he gets ganked once or twice. Yeah, he's a safe lane farmer, but he's just going for like a more utility build with the Vlads. It does feel like a slight edge for clutch gamers in terms of the trade.
Yeah, Silencer did have a pretty good time CSing against Queen of Pain. I mean, I'm going to chalk that up to Sumail things. He did get that protection early on. He's given up a few kills here. Once again, concern, if you don't have a good start, it's harder to take these objectives. And then the cores, like especially the Queen of Pain versus Venomance, as I mentioned before, even Void against Venomance, like the damage, it's not easy to bring them down. You need very good play from your Shaker and getting stuns together off to bring down some of these scores. So versus good start is important as well. You want to get quick blink dagger, which is so much more threat, and especially when you have other like super reliable initiation from the universe start item. Have the spirit chart, but as a support, he's not getting that many kills. He's a little under level, and his initiation is not necessarily the best fit or the most reliable for your team.
Eyes on bottom lane. They're looking to make a go onto EG. Nearby is Zai, but this is a three-man rotation. He is able to get the Gale off onto Boombox, who's now caught between a couple of Venom wards. Zai charging through and past him, going to Rappy. Maybe caught in a bit of trouble as the pit's going to get committed. Now the Sonic Wave, and that's going to be plenty of firepower to get the finish onto Zai.
Was that some perfect wall stuff? Why did Sanking not get hit by the charge? What happened there?
I don't know. He just like...
He like charged through him and it didn't bash him. I was so confused.
I saw him get hit by the charge. So.
Okay, maybe it was just my computer then.
Just a brief slideshow, firewall, perfect world, something.
But yeah, overall, EG are still winning these lanes. The Venom is just crushing the safe lane in terms of farming the lane and the jungle. He's got that maximum efficiency. Normally at this point you would have seen Arteezy take the tier 1 tower, but that's the nature of the Underlord pick, preventing that. Definitely fulfilling its purpose there, although at the end of the day, Arteezy's like, well, I'm not hitting my timings as far as taking towers and objectives, but I'm definitely going to hit my item timings. He is incredibly farmed. I believe Veil is completed. Yeah, it's on the Courier, so that'll be heading out to the defense.
Top lane, Zai has been spotted as he tries to charge his way out from the lane. Gabby moves in with the Chrono, and they will turn it into a pick. Now 5-2, Clutch Gamers continue to string together a lot of these early game pickups.
Definitely necessary when you're losing the farm and the laning stage to find those kills. Kind of at least somewhat equalizes it. Sumail's actually backed off from the Midas that he had this Midas queued up for quite some time, and since getting the Gloves of Haste and having like, he was like 1,000 gold, he's like, nah, screw it, not going to get this, buys Treads, Wand, Headdress. Is he going, and he has a Ring of Health queued up, so interesting to see what he's going to build.
It's like a thrift shop he's got holding here, but
yeah,
need to commit to something eventually here. Numbers for EG, it looks like in the mid lane at the moment, but more reinforcements as Fly Solo steps in.
Is he going? Oh, he's going to go for a Helm of the Dominator. That's what he's got queued up. Interesting.
We've seen that on Silencer before, but that was a puppy support.
Yeah, no. It's not only an item you think of on a mid or a core. It's kind of being tweaked such that it's a kind of support item, but mid Silencer can kind of be a utility hero. It gives you a ton of HP regen and some ores for your team. See how we can use that Dominate creep as well.
Jack, your thoughts on the mid lane Silencer Helm of the Dominator kind of thing we got going here potentially?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's interesting. I think there are a number of creeps he can get that could improve his survivability, or at least be like a good companion, or possibly help them push as well. So you see it picked up for those reasons, and you could see that useful again here. Like whether he chooses to go for the Centaur or the Ogre, the armor is pretty good. Could be helpful as well. But I'm still a little bit concerned here for about the lineups right now. I think CG has drafted pretty well in this game, and also like the synergy for for the silencer with the rest of his team, like for the most part, you see Global use a lot to protect these kind of very strong initiations, these kind of bursty type of lineups. For the damage output of EG, it's not really so much the case. Like it feels like you have a Global, and then the only real initiation that I can protect is that of the Earthshaker. Beyond that, it's like kind of slow, sustained damage versus burst. So I'm not sure if it's the best synergy for the silencer this time. Like it prevents some of the combo or shuts down some of it from Clutch Gamers, but it doesn't really enable themselves that well. So
definitely feels like they picked the hero exclusively for the lane.
Oh, stun move on for Sumail. This comes just after he was able to take the tier 1 tower. He's going to commit in with the global, and it's going to be Crit who bails him out and sends him back home. Crit should come back, but he does have help nearby. Universe with the Echo is waiting on the other side of the river. Can they get the jump onto Crit? Fissure does come out, but they do land the burrow. He managed to tether, but he pops on the way. It just turns into the solo Wisp takedown with both teams pretty much having nearly all hands on deck in this mid lane.
Yeah, it saved its own life there, but again, it's pretty much almost got defensive utility this game, it feels like.
Bottom lane, a charge here from Zai, and assistance with Arteezy. Meanwhile, mid lane, Chrono and a Death Ward combo comes out, and will help get the finish under the Earthshaker here. Also zoning back the rest of EG. Clutch Gamers just applying pressure onto this mid lane. They can't follow it up with any sort of +1 tower takedown, but more kills the barrier. And it also will prolong Universe's Blink Dagger just a bit more.
Very quick TP response from Arteezy when the Chrono comes out after getting the kill bottom, but ultimately they don't have that easy initiation until they get a blink on the Earthshaker to actually turn those TP into kills necessarily. And it'll Shaker getting caught in the Chrono, so Arteezy TP's in, but Clutch Gamers, very mobile lineup, already have engaged. The Time Walk, the Queen of Pain Blink, it's very easy for their draft to kind of get in and then quickly get out.
Yes, it's actually a bit of an EG draft that CG are running themselves. I think when 7.0 first came out, when they played that China Top tournament against Newbie, they were using Underlord a lot. Underlord obviously was a bit stronger hero at that point when we first came out, together with the Queen of Pain, just kind of fitting those themes of the mobility, the being able to shove the lanes out. It's kind of almost giving EG a taste of their own medicine a little bit here with the draft.
During Dota Pit, I believe, as well, EG ran a lot of Underlord and somewhat kind of similar lineups too. CG are back though, they want to get this tier 1. It's time to just get some of this money that's on the map and also just progress the objectives of this game. While it's happening though, Arteezy rotated up to the top and he'll get a trade of his own tier 1 tower. Rotations are coming as Zai is going to be joining the mid lane. We have more though coming in from EG, and it looks like they're going to be swinging. Walk and dunk right on top of the Sand King. They'll take the quick hero. Though commits in with the Death Ward, gets quickly canceled out as the global comes out. Now Gabby jump into action. Again, he does have a Chrono, so he has to jump up to the high ground near the Pain as Clutch Gamers possibly look to bail out, but
he's dead. Ziveno ulti fail.
Just a bit too much of a dot there for Mr. Underlord.
Bought his Ring of Health to try and gate it. Maybe could have bought the cloak either way. I think he dies there, but great. But they take pop and then very fast to rotate. It's just, I think, outmaneuvering Clutch Gamers at this point. I'm kind of with like the general sentiments that Jax brings up. That does feel like Clutch have maybe a bit more synergy with their draft and a kind of clear purpose. But I think what we're seeing out of EG is just like really good spell usage, good movement around the map. Veno is just dominating as well in terms of his farm. He's at that point where you can kind of make up for maybe like draft issues by just how farmed the hero can be.
Yeah, he's been pretty good at punishing Clutch's like hyper aggression when they dive these towers. They commit too hard to kills.
Will they do it again? We're moving in for Crit. They even commit the Chrono on top of it, so they will certainly get their Wisp.
So I guess a cheeky deny.
But yeah, they lose out on the money of the tower, and Arteezy continues to plague his way through this top lane on that disgusting Venomancer.
I haven't mentioned how happy I am that we're seeing a Courier. Just kidding. Oh, well, not really.
I'm glad it's the first one. Hopefully it's the last one. It's
some
just
hero.
So hype right now. Yeah. The big plays when he hits the R button and drops wards.
In some ways, it feels like a new version of a Naga Siren, because like it plays kind of similar to a Naga. It fights obviously a bit more, but it's this idea where you can push lanes and farm, and you can't punish the hero because he scouts you with Plague Wards, much like a Naga will just push with illusions. It's a very hard to punish split pushing hero that farms incredibly fast. not quite Naga status, but it's close.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
Piece of me
is under
dies when I
attack.
see either of them drafted for sure, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
but we're seeing Arteezy definitely make a strong case for the potency of the hero here. Tier 2 now under a bit of threat. He alone could force a lot of rotations, but the rest of EG have already made their move down in for the mid lane. They hit onto Gabby and then step off a bit. They do not want to overcommit onto this one and get too overzealous. So they take the opportunity to just head to the north, join up with Arteezy, see what's going on here.
I think the enjoyable thing for me with Arteezy's Venom is just how well he plays it. I feel like he's well ahead of most of the Venom carries out there in terms of his efficiency, his rotations. He seems to me to have the best understanding of how to get the most out of this hero.
Yeah, like the Veil has been an item that's been changed a lot, like from here and there, and like the HP regen gives you a lot of sustain. So like the hero doesn't need that much mana because you're not going to be ulting too often most of the time. And so if you have enough sustain to stay out on the map and keep the wards up, that's where your farming efficiency is. And with the wards being able to clear wards very quickly, but also neutral camps, you also spend like less time and energy necessarily micromanaging them or having to be there physically yourself to farm stuff. So that increases his farm efficiency as well. And then he does have quite a bit of magic damage, especially with the Veil, that can be underestimated a bit. He's sometimes tankier than people think he is, especially if you see a build like Solar Crest or Halberd. Usually you expect a Veno, especially if you're seeing it as a support, to just be bursted down, or just be this crispy bug for as a snack. But as a core, he's that much harder to kill and that much more difficult to deal with in lane.
No, can find the quad mid. I think the other thing which I know Blitz made some videos recently on it is the way he pressures lanes by how he farms. He's not just focusing on farming efficiency, but he is, but he's doing it in a way that he's always pressuring the lanes. He doesn't care about showing himself on the map because he forces clutch gamers to react. They don't rotate top. I mean, they do because they do those with hero sitting up there. So always on the most aggressive play possible. He knows he's the hardest hero to kill on the map, so he can take like the dangerous on the map.
I really like a lot of the lower skill level cores, those videos for sure, the ones in my pubs.
I like to sit back.
Of them in the jungle.
Yeah.
None of them in the lane.
Those games are really frustrating to play when you're on like the playmaking hero, like a position like an Earth Spirit or something, or playing an offlaner like a
Let's do stuff, guys.
And you're going around roaming, ganking, and then you just look at your team and they're farming. It's not that there's 2 or 3 farming, and they're farming the most passive places possible. That is like the worst thing you can do as a core is to farm passively. You always have to farm aggressively to the extent that you can get away with it.
Yeah. Maybe right now, someone has to get to the mid lane. Like right now, somebody has to get to the mid lane for EG. Zai steps in. He's got that lane to work with. Arteezy still playing his way through the top lane. And they also have bottom covered here. For CG, it feels like they've been pumping the brakes a lot and just totally in on their farm game right now. So I don't know what the call to action is going to be for them, but they are waiting to get a couple more items online here. But we're seeing just Arteezy alone force 2 of them to kind of step off a bit.
Silence.
Follow up. The global comes out from Sumail. The charge is in, and Crit even rotating in with Sumail, bringing in that right-click damage. The Witch Doctor also going to be going down. A good Sonic Wave does fly out. Not enough to get the finish on Zai, and now EG look to clean up the rest of the mess. 3 are going to be going down and make it 4 as Universe helps swat down Armel on his Queen of Pain, making it a 4 for 2 trade.
Mid Chrono animation. He was going to stop the charge. Chrono 2. Don't know if he gets the kills, but he's going to at least survive. And Global Silence comes in. It was perfect for Sumail. Nice turnaround from the Sand King, but it was still just not going to be enough for clutch gamers to win the fight, even though they do get some support kills.
And this is an item that you usually don't see on the core Venom or the Arteezy Venom, at least the Blink Dagger. It's more of this kind of almost like a plague bearer build. Right? You jump in and kind of get your ult off, and then you kind of don't care if you die after. So that would have seemed like a different position played like that. But in this case, with the Global Silence, it allows them to potentially surprise the Void if he shows, and if he's not actually doing the clean initiating as you were talking about. Gives them a chance to hurt him and stop his team from getting to him as well. So
yeah, I like the since you mentioned the glow. The other thing I always think of Blink Dagger as like one of the counter items to Void in general. Because especially Voids without blinks, you see him coming, he tries to time walk in and chrono you, you can always blink back defensively and dodge that chrono, or he's just not going to throw it. So I've always kind of thought of Blink Dagger as actually an item to outplay a Faceless Void chrono with.
Especially on land with 0 delay.
They don't really have instant speed initiation other than like maybe the Sand King, and again, if you put those wards up, you can potentially see him coming, or he'd have to be smoked to initiate onto you. So if they do feel pressure to fight into him, which they kind of do again if he's able to take their towers early on, then it's kind of a different story.
Both teams 5 minutes smoked.
Yep. EG takes the high road here as Clutch were approaching from just south, but it looks like both teams are not going to be catching each other here. EG could poke themselves inside the pit, but
they saw the Venom ward, so they know where EG roughly are.
Yeah, they've circled out the map, it looked like there. So CG for now know where it's safe, and we'll just move in for a tier 2 tower.
They're out of position to stop this rush from happening, though. It's unfortunate.
Yep. That one looks good for EG. They'll take the loss of the tier 2 for it, no problems at all.
It was really nice. RTZ, I think, just recognized that Clutch Gamers had 5 heroes missing for too long.
Clutch back to the shrine altogether with a portal.
EG have kind of already split up, though.
Yeah.
But
alright.
May come back in for this fight now they've got an Aegis.
They had a chance to initiate one. They started attacking the Venom wards.
Yes, they did. They make their move in. The Witch Doctor is going to be easily handled there. More delicious intel going to be sucked up by Sumail, and he is looking to glaive on down this Uberlord, who's not looking so damn fat. EG here now, parading down this mid lane. They are going to be having to send Zai back, it looks like, to deal with the pressure coming in from the bottom lane, but overall still EG in a more commanding position as they begin their battering ram siege down this mid lane.
It's been very crisp execution. This is maybe something that we expected coming into this series in terms of like playing to their strengths for EG. So for Clutch Gamers, like they have to, the global is an issue if they're kind of caught out in the middle, they don't get the initiation. So for instance, like if they start showing their supports, they start fighting Venom wards, it's a very clear sign that your whole team is there and you're either looking for a fight or you're prepared for one. And then EG can kind of decide what to do. They can back off or they can come in with the global and allow that to back up the start of their fight. And so for Clutch, you have to be a little bit more careful. I feel like you can't show unless it's a Sand King or Void initiation, and then the follow-up comes in, and the global maybe isn't in time to stop anything or save your heroes. If you end up with your supports aggressively positioned by the tower, say on a gank, then EG knows that your team is right there and ready to fight, and they can then kind of dictate what happens next around global. So this is kind of like a detail of taking these fights that I feel like EG has handled much better than Clutch so far.
Nice scan by EG there.
Yeah. With that global down, Clutch were looking for a fight, but EG realized it. That can highlight how well EG are playing around the global, and Clutch recognizing it themselves, trying to make a play happen.
Oh, Sumail though, peeking into action to see what's happening under that scan, finds 3 members here. Zai is working with them, and they're looking to isolate somebody. It looks like RTZ swings in from behind, they get a hold of Boombox, and they quickly take down the Sand King. And this was started by a Clutch Gamers smoke rotation, and they are going to be coming up short again.
That's a gem as well, so big loss there.
Oh jeez.
For Clutches, they were starting to remove some of that EG vision and try to set up theirs.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very, very costly. Where did the did EG have the gem now?
I don't see
any of the gem. Did they not see the gem? Was there a gem?
I heard a gem drop, unless I'm imagining.
You can hear gem drop?
You can often hear them when they get dropped on the ground, maybe just back at base or something. It may be an EG gem.
Oh, on the bottom lane, we missed the grab onto Armel there. It's Sumail who picks it up. There's more heavy, quick movement coming out from EG. RTZ already sparting out another. Global, actually, going to be committed.
Still diving.
They are. They're committing in with the help of the mobility coming in from Crit. They get the finish onto the Faceless Void, and now it's going to be EG just rushing in, looking to close this out quick, fast, in a hurry, moving in. Fly Solo also going to be handled, and just like that, a 5-man wipe. EG just ramp it up to 60 in just a few seconds.
That was the poster example for that escalated quickly.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah.
1 minute we're debating the presence of the gem on the ground. The next minute, EG
have won the game.
Through Clutch's pace, hunting them down to the tier 4s.
We're still looking for the gem. Like, what's going on, guys?
Now they got Raxus for sure.
So another part of the Venomancer is like, in a sense, similar to Bristleback in some ways. Like he kind of enables these very early timings and wins where like the amount of damage that he outputs, like the magic damage, you don't really have the tools to deal with that. So if you haven't been able to like kill him or slow down his momentum, then he can run at you this team, and then it becomes harder to hold objectives, and it becomes very hard to survive his AoE. So that's what EG again has played very well this game. Like for CG, I think they're counting on being able to hold their towers, not be overrun like this, and then maybe have Void with some initiation be able to stop the momentum, I guess, of EG's cores a bit. But that plan hasn't really worked from the early game onwards.
And I think I guess for those of you out there, like we're singing Arteezy's praises a lot and focusing on him because this is well and truly a Venom strat. With how this game is entirely played around the pressure that Venom has put on the lanes, he's given them all the vision. Oh, he's not necessarily getting all the kills, but he is kind of the leading force.
Damn, Witch Doctor just crumbles before the mighty power of Sumail. Gabby's able to connect the two-man chrono, which does bail out Rappy for now. The epicenter comes in, doesn't find connection under the chrono though, and now Sumail's able to dish out the right click. He's fighting with the last remnants of that Aegis, and it finally will pop. They did get a fall kill onto Crit, but now the focus is going to be on Armel's Eye. Taking it to him now, able to get the connection with the bash. Armel though, able to blink away back to the safety of indoors, but still a nice little trade for EG. They get something out of the last moments of that Aegis, and now they're here once again to the CG base side, looking to put Game 1 in the books.
Gee, very convincing, dominant stuff.
And Arteezy, the Venom has itemized very well for this as well. Like, often you'll see like something scaling out of the board. Maybe you'll see whether it's complexity with the travels, whether it's a Hurricane Pike, Maelstrom, that kind of a build. But in this case, he's got the Shivas and the Solar Crest, so it's basically nearly impossible to bring him down, especially if he's ahead and has a good start. So, itemizing again for this kind of like early game win, they managed to find that window, and that will be Game 1.
Yes, it will. They start that top push in by taking out the Faceless Void. He didn't even have a chrono for that defense. EG just come in, and they just got too much going, and the momentum cannot be stopped. Not by Clutch in game number 1.
Kind of the EG we thought would show up, and I think for EG...
Oh, damn, is that a Karate Kid headband? Oh, Sumail is a legend. It looks like it, at least.
He's come such a long way from being that, like, awkward 15-year-old kid when he broke in the scene. He's such a badass now.
Is that a Ralph Macchio headband? I gotta see. Turn this way. Oh, well. Congratulations, EG. Congratulations to our bartender barbershop boys. But we're back at the BTS studios here well into the early morning, and our first game of the lower bracket playoffs has completed. But it is a best of 3, gentlemen. Clutch will still have a chance to be able to stay alive, but things look good for EG already.
They do.
It's like the new big hope of Southeast Asia in a sense, where they're just sweeping through qualifiers. All these lands to look forward to, and it's kind of, I think from Manila onwards, things haven't really gotten better for them. They've also like gone away from the kind of successful playstyle they had, where you would see Boombox making those great plays as a 4, as a roamer, and then you would see Armel just kind of controlling the pace. And I don't know, maybe teams like looked into their playstyle a bit more, started paying more attention to them. That's something certainly that happens once you get onto like the land scene, and the teams know that they have to start paying attention to. But at the same time, like, you know, in terms of laning, I think they're okay, but there just seem to be a lot of details with what the team is doing when they need to execute a fight, what they're giving away, how much information they're giving. Those things, like those details, really matter against good teams like Evil Geniuses, and so that's something that EG clearly outplayed them this game on that front.
Sounds great. All right, we will cut to a return. We'll be hopping into game number 2 of this MDL matchup, Evil Geniuses versus Clutch Gamers in the lower bracket. See you soon.
lesson here, baby.
My life sets.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the Dire. Dire's structures are fortified.
Sustains. Gold remains.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
You're not going anywhere.
Unstoppable.
Well, hello and welcome on back to the Mars over there. Mars TV. So what is Mars? Does it stand for something?
An acceptable show of loyalty.
It's just Mars TV. So interestingly enough, this is a very
Dire's
minor
top
trivia
barracks
thing,
are
but,
under
They
attack.
call themselves Mars Media now, and I think all of the companies in China basically have to change that because in order to call themselves TV, they need some kind of like official
Planet.
government sanction
okay.
for that. Oh, that too. Well, nobody has from Mars has so far come forth to contest that, so I think they're okay. It says nobody from Mars has come to defend themselves in this Mars TV Dota tournament. But yeah, Mars Media.
That's come on, you're not fooling anyone. They don't need to care about that kind of stuff. What was it? That Kentucky Fried Chicken place, but it's not KFC. What is it? That ripoff we were giggling about where they KFG. There's not a KFC out there, but there's a KFG, and I don't know. You look a little closely, and it might be quite similar here. We have a draft, gentlemen. This is our third attempt at the draft, so we'll see if it loads through. Looks like we're good, as a couple bands are already flying out. But Parker, what kind of adjustments would you like to see from Clutch Gamers? We felt pretty good about their draft in game number 1. Maybe the execution that didn't work out, but if there was something you can kind of pull out from it.
See some true spirited SEA Dota. Ganking heroes run at you with the lanes. That is SEA Dota at its best. That's the SEA Dota that has upset top tier Western teams in the past. Has upset a lot of top tier teams on the international stage. I think that's more what Clutch Gamers have to do.
Okay. They get first pick here. We might see them just go right into the Sand King, but maybe run at you would be a Night Stalker early. Nah, they're going to go for the Sand King. Okay.
It's okay. I think you can work around that as a runner. You kind of draft. Bubek's perhaps one of his best heroes.
EG's turn to pick.
It's
Sand King. It's like, yeah, the Sand King, the old trusty. And we know what it does. We know what it doesn't do. There's that.
I want to say it might be the most first picked hero on this current patch, probably.
Oh yeah, I would
EG's
so.
turn to pick.
And then here we go
back
again.
To the I was wondering if they would take either this or the Drow in the first 2 picks again, since it's been left in the pool this time. But there's the Veno again, and once again, I wouldn't be entirely surprised.
Yeah.
They could go with it as as the RTZ safe laner again, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if they wanted to change things up a little bit.
I would actually wager that EG would switch it up this time. I think that they're the kind of team that's not going to just do that again. They're just, I think that, I don't know, I'm just getting a hunch here that more than likely we'll see it in a different position in the different hands of someone else. Oracle. Fantastic. Love the hero. I'm excited to see it. Crit's going to be playing it. And, I don't know. That's dope.
This hero does a lot of things. One of the issues that he does have is kind of mana problems. His spells are also good, but they're very spammable and they're kind of cost intensive. So that's one of the issues this hero's had. One pairing that we've seen occasionally, but not too much, is with the OD. With the Oracle.
Oh, I love that.
If you have the Venomancer in the Oracle with the OD, like again with like very frequent cast spells, you basically would never worry about having mana issues with them as long as they're together and like in some kind of Death Ball, and that makes the Oracle.
Yeah, but if you want Death Ball and you want Oracle pairing, you're looking at like Death Prophet usually. Maybe not EG, but I do love that synergy with the OD. There's a lot of fun synergy out there with a lot of the new meta picks. Let's say like CK, for example. Typically could be a Heart candidate. And Heart has got those nice buffs recently where the HP regen is quite ridiculous. So when you give them a false promise, they get double that. It feels like it's damn near impossible to take them down. I do like the option of clutch gamers. I don't know, maybe they run back and somehow squeeze in a Faceless Void. Time Dilation is very good against someone like Oracle, and even Venomancer like to spam a lot. And you do need a way to be able to lock down and maybe even get a hold of a Oracle hiding in the back lines. But
the rubric you see picked a lot against these like kind of Omni type. Your Omni, in this case Venomancer, you can steal his wards. With the Oracle, like you end up taking his spells obviously as well, but Rubik of course with the benefit of having basically no cast delay on the spells, no cast animation on the spells. So he's a better version of some of these other heroes that you have on the other team. And then of course with the null field as well is going to help against
yeah, it's just value. Yeah. That is value 10 for sure. Second phase.
They'll still ban the Drow.
Yeah, they get rid of that Drow again.
Cool. Then it could be ran in as an offlane or a mid. So there's that flexibility. Support, of course, too, but I think it's less likely to support with an Oracle. I think Venom is better as a 5 than a 4. I mean, he's fine in the jungle. That can attest to that. But you haven't got any stuns between your supports, no initiation. I feel like you've got some big gaps in your lineup if you do run that 4-position Venom.
Oracle with Drow in the game is just so great, too. That would be just... His bat...
Oh,
it's so
amazing,
ridiculous,
yeah.
Just throwing that tiny ass ball at you non-stop so fast, and if you give him the bonus damage on top of it, he can almost zone anybody out, it feels like.
Yeah, I wonder if they'd go for like a Kunk, or if they get a core here maybe, or if go for a Kunk or something. We've seen Zai play a lot. There's kind of like the counter initiation component to it as well that you've seen from a lot of EG picks where they have these like self-sufficient laners and then there's counter initiation for them. It's kind of like a 2 protect 3 sometimes. It feels like, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that here.
Let's just scan my Dota buff, see some of the recent drafts, and there is Venomancer. The latest article. Venom. There's an article directly on this one hero.
How many times did you fap to that there, Jack? Huh?
I must admit I have read the article.
I wrote the article. The article is about me. Yeah, I bet.
You Dota buff feels like go-to Dota side these days. Other than like Reddit, I feel like. But like as far as like specifically Dota numbers and stats go, and it seems like a cool website if you guys don't already frequent it.
You're Dota, enthusiast, you don't know Dota buff. You're doing it wrong. That's for sure.
I'll go like maybe without going there, and then I'll just suddenly get on there one day and just go through like all these like nitty-gritty stats about like my pub games and just waste like hours. Like, figuring out which hero I'm best on Radiant side playing as a jungler or something. Very odd specific stats. It's pretty cool.
Here we go. Second phase for the Evil Geniuses. It's the Void. He doesn't come out, but it's going to be on their team, and we are in store for the Universe Faceless Void, one of the greatest Universe Faceless Voids in the game. Sahil's awesome on the hero. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. As far as player hero combo goes, it's one of the best out there. He's above 75% win rate with this, so in the house tweeting out some stats, he's one of the best as far as player hero combo goes, considering the number of times he's played it.
Yeah. Universe, IX Mike, then everyone else, as far as Faceless Void goes.
IX Mike has a Void?
I think, yeah, he was a pioneer, one of the original offlane Voids back in the day, NEL days.
Okay,
so,
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, he's just back pocketing it for now. That's all it is.
I'm not sold on the Mike Void. I'm gonna be honest.
We'll see. Next time he's on main stage, he'll show you. He'll show you. But just a solid grab for them. Maybe even a minor denied pick. Who knows? But
you told me like IX Mike Crystal Main. Like that's an IX Mike hero. He's got his own set, you know, those player sets are a rarity nowadays.
Dude, I have and I use the my Crystal Maiden set. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
It's on there. You can look now. And it works wonderfully with that new Immortal, by the way. So,
I mean, it's Valve have to any new CM Immortal say they want to build, you got to build that around the icon set.
We could do it in this slot, but Mike is already there, and it's not going to work, so we'll go elsewhere. Man, Clutch are thinking about this pick here.
I wonder if I don't recall if Clutch has recently played something like the Anti-Mage, something like a Weaver. Like if these are heroes that are seen as kind of good against the Venomancer core, and put some pressure as well. Like Oracle may not be the best support for dealing with those heroes, so that's a possibility. I'm not sure if they plan on picking up one of those cores here. So I wonder if the Void might have been kind of an answer to that as well. If it's like a greedier core, if it's something that can't really zone him out necessarily with these supports, and the Void will have a good time. If he is in the offline like we think he's going to be.
The Clockwork for now. I think it's good against the Oracle, but overall against those cores, kind of tough Clockwork game. Typically the Venoms against the Clock will just rush a 4-staff, Void, time walks out. I feel like this is more a comfort pick for Clutch gamers than anything, and obviously saying that they can punish the support. You don't want to be picking offline just for one support.
Shame. Silencer looks pretty tasty on Clutch gamers' side, but I don't know
is that the headband you were talking about? You got the front on view.
It does. Is that it? It's blue, right? It looks blue
like
from here.
G1.
Yeah, it looks like, maybe not, maybe something else, but it looks like a badass. Yeah. Is that facial hair? Oh my god! How long has it been since we've seen Sumo play in Dota? It's crazy. The boy is growing up right before our eyes, man.
He had it I think in Manila, and then like I don't know if he got rid of it the last day or like over the last few days of the tournament. He definitely had it going at some point, like not on the sides, but not with like the kind of patchy wolf.
Yeah, I mean you got to go through that phase. Everyone's gonna shit on you.
They're superstitious about it too. Anytime you talk to our teams about it, he'll be like, yeah, I shaved for this event, we did really well, so next time I'm like, and then he did badly with like his full-on beard, so he's like, nah man, I'm playing TI, I'm gonna be full shave. So like they remember how well they do based on their facial hair.
Yeah, I recall asking him about that, and it's like, are you doing like a playoff beard or something like that? Is that what's going on? So there is the Weaver coming out from Clutch Gamers.
And before that, the Night Stalker there. So you got a lot of heavy initiation on Clutch Gamer's side with your Sand King, with your Clockwork even, and Night Stalker's there to kind of make sure they have a hard time getting the vision necessary to make those kind of jump-in plays. And you also get to have the convenient silence for even the Weaver that shows up too. So still pretty nice for EG overall. But yeah, I was also thinking about the Weaver too for Clutch. I think that's one of the better core options you can go for that's elusive and can deal out some good bursty damage maybe even later on to eliminate an Oracle, or at least force the Oracle to have to use False Promise on himself. So that'd be nice.
And I think that may be why they spent kind of like this much time on that Void pick. They're kind of already looking at what the cores that Clutch might pick up to deal with or counter this Venomancer, and they felt that Void is probably a good answer to many of them.
Yeah. Void and Night Stalker for the Weaver, so I feel like they have got a tool to deal with the Weaver. They haven't got good damage for the Chrono, so I think that last pick for Sumail is likely to provide some of that. It's been a while since we've seen that Sumail Invoker, but it was a hero that he used to play quite frequently. So maybe something he kind of considers, but
I don't know. This event, I feel like he is. I'm just getting a hunch that he is getting to dictate what he wants to play in every draft. I think so for sure. I don't know if they're just like.
Is it the mid AA? Oh! Whoa!
Okay, well I did like EG a lot, but this guy comes out and. Dude, is Sumail deciding he wanted to play this pick? I don't know.
He's got +5 starting agility now.
And
he might play just the Ags build. Like, who knows? He might troll around with it. Look at his lineup. All these boys here would love an Ags. Yeah. Even Oracle. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan.
He's got some small buffs.
Yeah, he got the buffs though.
It's one of those things where you're not going to know how good this hero is with those buffs until you play in a competitive match. So I think EG's like, we're up 1-0 against Clutch Gamers. We have a game to play around with. Let's try out one of these newly buffed heroes and see how it works.
Please don't go well. Please go well, because if Alchemist looks so good, we're going to be in store for a lot of Alchemist games. So yeah, I like you, EG, but if Alk looks really weak and maybe all the other teams are like, he looks like shit, we won't play him, then we'll be fine.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that all the teams are going to be watching.
Yeah, they're like, oh, is Alchemist good?
Probably a lot of, I mean, some teams out there like, oh, EG playing clutch, heavy favorites, maybe not a lot to learn from this series because EG should 2-0 them, but then they see this Alchemist, they're like, ooh. I mean, it's all.
I feel like that's what happened with the CK earlier, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like we see it in the hands of a couple of teams busting it out, and suddenly it's spread like wildfire. Hope that doesn't happen with Alchemist, but that's just me. I'm very biased against Alchemist. Maybe some of you Alki fans out there, the dozens of you, you know, get excited.
Some Chinese teams used to run Alk in more of the kind of feeding capacity of the item sharing. I mean, not the actual feeding that Dakota was talking about, giving the Ags. And yeah, he's got pretty good Ags recipients here because it's something that you want, for instance, on the Night Stalker, but that hero maybe takes more time to get that farm up if he doesn't have a good start. Same with the Faceless Void. Like you see most offlane Voids, they don't really want to be farming in Aghanims until they're like 3rd or 4th item. And so if you can get that at a quick timing, like just enables him that much more, reducing that cooldown on the Chronosphere. So if they do choose to go that direction, that's interesting. But also, like, there's kind of a lack of real burst damage on the side of Clutch. It's like mostly pretty sustain based, and Alchemist tends to do well against that.
Oh, he's gonna cut through the trees and try to make it, but Sumail is fast. He is going to look to dodge here. He hides through the trees. You know, Clutch Gamer's pretty heavy in with this 5-man first blood attempt. It looks like they will be able to get the upper hand onto Sumail. They catch him, and they will be able to bring him down, trying to take him away from that early bounty rune.
Kill for Mel, nicely done. He may still get the bounty rune though. He respawns still with 10 seconds to go. He's pinging top. Yeah, he'll TP there. But interesting, he kind of ran south. I think once he committed to running to the right side, he couldn't run towards his tower because he ran directly down, and Sanking was going to eventually catch up to him, so he kind of felt like he had to look in the trees, but good aggression from Clutch Gamers to snag at least. Well, they don't stop him getting bounty rune, but they managed to get that first blood.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they get from it, is first blood.
So they get a boost. He still gets a nice amount of gold for it, and actually, because the Clutch Gamer's not in a position to really block their lanes optimally, that might end up skewing the lanes in EG's favor. So, you know, not too bad of a trade-off, I guess, for giving up a first blood.
Yeah, considering he still gets a bounty rune. Universe got his bounty rune top. I feel like Universe may just crush this lane. He's fantastic in these 1v1s often, knows them very well, and that is a concern for Clutch Gamers.
It looks like Zai is going to be kind of the enforcer for this mid lane
bottom.
now, but bottom lane, that means that they can make their move in. For Arteezy here, as mentioned, the stun, the telekinesis pullback, and with the bugs, it's all more than enough to be able to get a now 2nd kill for Clutch.
It's a great move from backs through the trees, gets him from the side.
Veno loves to be up against kind of these traditional one hero type of offlaners. He does not necessarily like to be tri-laned, which would force the supports to be there as well, because he likes to get up those levels and experience. It's very important to him in terms of the ward's poison sting. So they could either send Night Stalker down here and try to brawl a little bit, or they consider relocating Arteezy.
Plan for now. You know, Arteezy hasn't even skilled anything yet, because there's none of your spells are actually useful against a tri-lane. I mean, the Gale is probably the most useful, but he's kind of like, well, we're not really going aggressive, we're playing defensive, and your spells as a Veno aren't good defensively except the wards, but only wards once they're level 2, level 3, so for now he's just going to be like, well, I'm just going to chill.
And Zai's kind of almost forced to be just stuck nearby. He'll float around for the bounty rune right now, but it'd be nice for Crit to be able to try to get some good XP on the side. Once you get to level 3 and you get 2 points in Purifying Flames, you could do some surprisingly good burst damage with the Fortune's End pairing. So, but we'll see if he gets that kind of opportunity or not. As long as Clutch Gamers are keeping this pretty heavy on the aggro side of things, he might not get that opportunity. But as I say that, they all step off. In fact, it does look like Zai's trying to go in for a snipe of the bounty rune, but gets there just a bit too late. Oh, into the root creeps. That's going to be actually a decent amount of damage. He actually got, it almost feels like a little lucky there. I feel like when I cross in front of those creeps, I don't know, they hate me. They're just like, get the hell off my doorstep. They hit me with the root, they hit me with everything they got.
Those dreaded prowlers.
One of the best ones back in, this is turning back the clock, but in Warcraft 3 there was those like purge creeps. They just come out and just purge you
and drain your mana too.
those are just brutal to walk past.
Sumail's just roaming around picking up bounty runes. I'm just enjoying watching him. He goes to the top one. When you have these 1v1s in the offlane, neither offlaner really wants to leave to pick up bounties unless they get an early bottle to refill it. So he's free access to get double bounty runes. and then come back mid. He pushes out the lane with Acid, he returns. Fairly, I mean, it's kind of efficient. At the same time, he is missing some CS while this goes on, but those bounty runes give him more gold than he'd otherwise be finding.
And he returns back to the mid lane with pretty even neck and neck CS game there. You were already mentioning how Universe would be getting a lot in his lane, and it does look like that is the case. 15 and 1 CS for him, but it is a win-win. Clockwork in this kind of a matchup is also getting a lot. We're seeing some simultaneous breaks here. Armel harassing Sumo quite a bit, while top lane with battery saw Universe's time lock hit there, so it's quite a bit of damage on the Rappy. He's going to force out the sound wall. Bottom lane moves onto RTZ. We catch the back end of that one. It is CG coming up successful once again.
Like the CG have reacted to the Venom problem from game 1 and like, we're going to actually address this here since we had no answer for it once he got farmed. Let's stop him getting farmed. Let's put him on the back foot and play from there. So already we see a much clearer response coming out from the CG camp.
Nighttime now. I is level 2, very fresh level 2, so the best side of the XP as far as where you like to be, but we'll see if he can find any sort of setups with it or any sort of potential plays. He's for now kind of heading cross country here, and we'll get some of that time to farm as Sumail's once again doing the you know, the loop to dupe here, grabbing some bounties and some jungle farm.
Oh, missed that acid. That acid AoE.
Uh-oh.
He pulls him in, but initially it didn't actually draw aggro, it looked like. But
ooh, another setup possibly onto the bottom lane here. Can they get Artur down yet again? There's the telekinesis. They throw him right back in towards Gabby. There's the burrow strike, and that should do it. Walk him on back. He'll try to get some wards down or something, but now he is 0 and 3. This aggro lane from CG is proven to be quite reporting.
Yeah. The wins for EG is mostly the mid lane where Alchemist has not ganked at all. He's kind of free farming. He's fallen back in the jungle as well. He missed that stack, so a bit of efficiency lost. But he is maxing that Grievel's Greed, not even getting that third point in acid. So he's going full on gold farming mode. And But the rest of the lineup, Weaver is very bad against Alchemist, I'd say. You really want like the Linas, the Ursas. These kind of heroes are what you want against Alch. Jump on him, bring him down. He doesn't get a chance to regen up from the Chemical Rage.
Yeah, they don't really have the burst. And then looking at some of the itemizations, so Gabby on the Weaver has decided to go for the Lincolns this game. First item. I'm not sure if I agree with this choice as far as this game situation, because well, there's a couple tools for being able to take off the Lincolns, or like you're not protected, say, against time dilation or some from Void. But also, like a lot of times when you go for that Weaver, that Lincolns early on the Weaver, it feels like it slows you down a little bit too much. This is a hero that needs offensive and defensive items. You see Universe going on to solo on the mid.
Him and tag team and get the takedown. The Rappy jumps into action, and up between Bootbox, look a little bit of redemption here, but Universe two time to the high ground and does TP right under their nose, and out from trouble. Zai will take the skies, fly up and away, and he's out of it.
It was mid battery assault. It looked like it hit the Night Stalker instead. Zai playing that self with support.
They have spotted Sumail though. Just farming deep again, has that monster bounty over his head. They're going to commit with the epicenter, and they will be able to bring down the beast.
Kill you need probably a few more times at this game. He did buy his boots of travel, so it looked like he didn't lose too much. I think he picked them up, was trying to TP out, and then got caught.
Oh man, KB is being chased for crit. As the Fate Seed of Purifying Flames to try to heal himself up, will be able to make it away. Could have gone two ways about that. Even Fate Seed to be Weaver, so he can't right click, but either way, gets out from trouble.
Void with a Shadow Blade already. Universe is very farmed. I mean, he's number 4 in net worth, and you see Alchemist and you see Void, and you're like, ah, this Void isn't really that farmed, but considering Universe's role in this team, this is a fantastic spot to him to be in, and these items are great at punishing this Weaver. He can Shadow Blade in, scout around, find the Weaver, or even find like a Sanking. I think Sanking is probably one of the bigger value kills you can get, because without Sanking, you lose that big guaranteed instant initiation. You've still got the clock, but I think Sanking is kind of the scary 2 for the Alchemist to have to do.
Got a action here from PG. They gather just to their mid tier 2 and roll on out here. We get the chrono, everything up ready. They go towards the main. Just Clutch Gamers come together. It looks like they're going to go for their own call to action. They don't speak up. They're going to shoot Death Prophet in the lane. Will this turn into a convenient bait? No. PG actually headed into the Roche pit and begin to fight it out there. Armel's like, Arcane Rune, what's happening in there? Oh, it's a Roche fight. Oh, Chrono comes out from Universe, only able to catch the Clockwork back and behind. Aegis is snagged up from Sumail on this one. They're battling it out. They are going to get the finish onto the Venomancer here, but they're looking for more. Sumail's going to get hit with a False Promise. It will end up working its way through the Aegis here. Armel hanging on with that Soul Siphon, but can't live it out to the end of the Exorcism. They are going to get the finish. Gabby cleans up Universe here. It's Sumail, the lone survivor for EG. He's now going to be beating down the bug. Can he get the finish onto Gabby with the Radiance Burn? The poison's there. He needs just a bit more. Can he run up enough? No. Gabby's going to be able to Sakuchi away. Fly Soul also will survive. It is an absolute bloodbath in the Roche pit.
These are the tight fight. Yeah, Alk did so much damage. The Venom actually didn't do as much as I thought, despite getting off the ultimate. EG make a sneaky move there. Very heads-up play from Clutch Gamers to actually breed. I honestly thought they just weren't going to predict that one, because EG smoke in, they kill it very quickly, but very smart play by Armel to just throw a Cryptstorm in there and figure out what was going on.
This sustains. Goad remains.
Now Clutcher back to the grind of farm for now. Gabby kind of attending to the bottom lane for just a little bit here, but he's going to be moving his way forward into a diffusal, it will look like. So damage is going to be coming together a bit better, and he also has the BKB queued up right behind that too. So
I feel like you can't feel too great about that fight though as Clutch. I mean, for one thing, you only get one more kill than your opponent, so you do break the Aegis right away, but it's an exorcism used not to take objectives, and Alchemist doesn't die. He's the key hero. He stays alive. He gets a lot of kills. It slows you down where you don't have exorcism for a little while, and Alchers continue to farm, so it just gets Alch more and more money to play around. So I think this game continues to look pretty scary for them, despite that fight.
I didn't even notice, yeah, he's got that new bubbly radiance cosmetic look. Kind Kind of funny looking here. Sumail will pressure his way through this top lane. The rest of Clutch all down this mid lane. Gonna be starting to knock their way down this tier 2. It looks like we've got a nice DD rune here on Gabby, and now the Exorcism also coming out. No contention at all here from EG. Just kind of prepped just in case Clutch continue this push on forward, but they are going to be splitting the pressure elsewhere, it looks like, in the meantime.
Yep. Lies there just to try and scout, make sure that Universe is protected. Universe is going to Shadowblade in from the Shrine, looking for a pick, and he may actually find it at the Ancients.
Gabby's still there. He moves in, hits him once, then commits him with the Chrono, and now uses the Mask of Madness. Can he burst him alone? Clockwork dives for himself right into the Chrono, but there's just not enough damage. Gabby will be able to make it away. Zai tries to get the follow-up, but can't get it.
Yeah, bit unfortunate, very close. Universe hoping for like maybe a bash towards the end of the Chrono, and he could get that kill if he kind of got that extra stun duration. Find it.
He tried to play his efficient if possible. He even got that one first smack in before the Chrono, just to get the most damage out of it as possible. But
and what Rappy's doing with that hookshot, you can actually get that stun off on the Void. You don't like actually physically go to him, but it still stuns him in Chrono. At least that's how it used to work. I assume it still worked that way. So he wasn't like, he didn't just like waste his hookshot there. But he missed it. He hit his teammate instead because Void kind of dodged it, it looked like.
No, but that makes sense. That could stop like 1 to 2 right clicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Damage there.
Prevent some damage out, but help time-lapse come off.
EG rolling down deep through this top lane. You know they're doing it without the Chrono, but they're still looking for a fight. They're looking for a tier 2. They got the darkness and the vision to kind of get the upper hand. But now Death Prophet into action. No Exorcism. Starts things off early onto Sumail, but Sumail pops the ulti and begins to run back. Or EG gonna totally withdraw from this one? Let's see it. Guess what they wanted to get out of that was, you know, Clutch Gamers at full attendance in the top lane.
So, see where things go from here. EG just happy to keep farming. Sumail isn't quite at that full Alchemist level yet. They've got a lot of Ags they can pull. Who gets the first Ags, Jack? Where are you looking?
I think maybe the the Night Stalker is nowhere near it, so if they value vision, I think that's a pretty good choice at this point. If not, I'd just go straight for the Venomancer. Truthfully, he doesn't need to farm it himself. He's a little bit behind, and so that gives him some more tankiness and survivability. He does go for the XP gain talent, so once he gets to 18, that becomes a 60-second cooldown, which is a ton of damage. And also, CG, not the most durable of heroes in the lineup, and so the buffed Gale is going to, buffed rather Poison Nova is going to be pretty strong against them.
Yeah, no one has pipe complete. I saw a hood, but no pipe either.
We'll have Nullfield later on. Currently no value point. Never personally a fan of these Rubik builds where you go 4-4-0.
Okay, move in from Rappy as Zai's making the fly solo, but yeah, Universe gets a good 2-man connection. The Poison Nova follow makes the connection onto 3. Chrono was stolen. They get the lockdown on 2 as Gabby tries to put to work in onto Arteezy. Can they heal him through the damage? It looks like he's going to be fine. This fight belonging to EG here. Fly Solo finds an opportunity to TP out. He'll be good, but they take 3 hard shots. They will lose their Death Prophet as EG make a successful jump in.
That's such a sick Chrono. Finding the Sanking, and he even prioritizes the Sanking kill over everything else. I don't know if he had vision. I mean, Sanking was in Fog in the Trees. Maybe they'd scouted him with like a Plague Ward or something, but or like a Night Stalker, perhaps with his Hunter in the Night flying vision. But either way, making sure you just take the, either gamble with it or you saw him and you make sure you catch him. Killing that Sanking is a key factor for that fight.
Yeah, that Octarine is getting close to completion here for Sumail. You're at your own personal little critical mass. Disgusting Alchemist.
Oh yeah. Obviously Shiva's Guard after that. You definitely needs an armor item against the Weaver and Death Prophet ultimate.
Oh, crit. Just slaughtered there. Really not much you can do. He has the Purge and also a Lincoln Serum. So
this game's still really tough for EG. They have a lineup that doesn't have any room for errors because you lose a fight and then suddenly Death Prophet's on your high ground, breaking it with Exorcism. If you use ultimates and don't get kills, then this happens. You actually don't have Chronosphere for 30 seconds.
Ooh,
meanwhile,
nice
Amel has ult.
Yeah, they caught Sumail here. We're on the other side of the wall with a good jump in. Can't quite get the finish though. He's able to step off. Still has 20 seconds before the ulti will be able to kick in, and Clutch Gamers have already 180 themselves out from the base.
Fortunately, they commit for the kills, take a lot of damage. If they maybe just focused on sieging there, they could have at least gotten that tower down to half HP or something, but they saw an opportunity. You kill Sumail there, you force a buyback, or you perhaps just break open the game and take that tier 3, maybe get racks, or at least get some shrines after that. I think for Clutch, it's all about playing around the cooldowns. That Chronosphere, when it's down, you suddenly find yourself in a very strong position. If you've got Exum and they don't have Chrono, you're looking good.
I was going to say now, EG have the options here. They could take things a bit more passively and just wait out for the Roche, take that, then move forward, or just take it right to Clutch Gamers. They don't have that Exorcism anymore. So it looks like they want to see if they can pressure through this top lane a bit, but Clutch are nowhere to be found. Already pushing out this bottom lane a bit and otherwise imploring their buddy-buddy system.
Yep.
But EG are going to be able to wait things until that Roche. It looks like, what's the timer? It's a short one. Just about 40 seconds or so. Yep, 40. Almost right on the button there. Good timing for them. Maybe get a tier 2 plus that.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
See where EG go from here. This Alk is kind of that point where that low cooldown Chemical Rage, much higher uptime. Not what it once was patches ago, but still pretty good.
I mean, that with a false promise is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's even getting double that regen. It will feel like near impossible to kill him, and he's getting all that life steal from his spells and such. He is a Goliath.
See his net worth though. It just still doesn't have that old Alchemist feel where it's like, man, he's 24k net worth. Yeah, he's unkillable. He can take any fight he wants. It still feels like he has to play very cautiously.
Yeah.
And not get caught out. The Exorcism could ruin his day. I think part of that is EG didn't have any Force Staffs until now. They've got a way out of the Clockwork Cogs with Arteezy picking that up. I think I kind of expected maybe for him to pick it up a bit earlier, but he did prioritize those other Veil, Solar Crest, Common Venom items.
Yeah, the extra mobility is going to be nice, and if he's not picking it up, I don't know anyone else who is, because lots of the farm is already being gobbled up by the mighty Sumail and some of the other cores here. EG coming together now, still eyeballing this Roche pit. It's up now, so tension will be on this Roche. Obviously, Clutch will want to contest it. By now, they have that Exorcism back up and ready to go. I don't know. Jack, what do you think? What would be Clutch Gamers' best approach to this kind of situation now when Roche is going to be a priority for both sides?
I think, well, look, as we see some deep wards there by Clutch Gamers, I think that they need to go back to trying to get these pickoffs. I think you get the lanes pushed out, whether Sand King Clock or Weaver can do that and have to look for these kind of pickoffs. I think they have to try to restrict EG space a little bit. I thought EG would try to start deathballing now with the Alchemist. Was, as you mentioned, very difficult to bring down, especially with an Oracle, but they still, I guess, don't feel entirely comfortable doing that, so this next Aegis is going to be huge, and one way to stop that or forestall it is to keep the waves pushed, keep the pressure there, make your enemy reveal themselves and look for pickoffs. So otherwise, you know, giving up this Roche looks really bad for them. Like, I'm not sure they would be able to last much longer if they did give up the Roche on.
Yep. Well, EG are going to smoke up. They had some vision from Plague Wards. They got deleted, but here they go.
They are coming in from the low ground, though. Gabby could scoot in. He does manage to get just a brief glimpse of Zai. Frantically pings it out.
I think they're going to wait this Rocket Flare out. Yeah, they wait the Rocket Flare to expire, and then they start on Roche. They've got like a 5-second window between Rocket Flares.
Oh my god, look how fast they do it, though. There is no chance they're going to be able to make it in there in time. But Clock says, I can get in there. Jumps in right away, and he dies right away. But can they still make their way in somehow? No, it looks like Sumail will be able to chop his way through it, grabs up the Aegis. They put all their focus onto Arteezy, but then Universe steps in, gets a nice two-man chrono onto Clutch, and will be able to set up a couple of easy takedowns. 3 going to get dropped now, and Aegis claimed. EG looking to just take it home down the mid lane.
So there is a 4-second window between Rocket Flare cooldown and the vision it gives, and in that 4 seconds, EG got Roche down to about 25%.
That was crazy. Oh, Fly's dead.
Woo! Okay.
He got squished like a fly.
This is like game 1, you know, that we're just like talking about whatever's going on, and then suddenly EG just have one crazy fight, and boom, game ended.
The 0 to 60 moment all of a sudden there from EG.
Like 0 to 100. It's crazy. The Nas turned on. Wow, indeed. Gabby can't even believe it. What the hell happened? We're out of the tournament? Yeah, guys. Sorry. EG came in today, fired up and ready to play. I know Clutch got the best of them in the round robin, but this time EG are not pulling out any sort of ancient apparitions.
The clutch beat EG in the round robin. Man. That is impressive.
Okay, skittish out here. It looks like this could be the final defensive hurrah for Clutch, but they've already lost their Sand King. No Epi going to be in this one. Sumail simply had chopped up the little Scorpion. Looks to go for the Clockwork next. Rappy has to step away. Clutch simply fighting out their last moments of the tournament here. Oh, he tried to Manta off the stun on that one. Couldn't quite get it. But Sumail alone can bully back all of Clutch here, while the rest of EG can step off. But they got to be feeling pretty good. It looks like EG will be able to move on and into the next round. And if I'm not mistaken, from what they were talking about earlier today, they don't flip the bracket in that first round. So that means OG are going to be going against EG next.
That's hype. Woo. That's where EG starting in the lower bracket like completely changes the dynamic. Because I'd say EG is, even despite being 5th in the group stage, very clearly like top 2, top 3. I'd say like EG, LGD, and OG look like the 3 best teams. EG just through some weird head-to-head rules ended up in the lower bracket despite finishing tied 2nd in score.
Okay, well, I don't want to speak too soon. Clutch did manage to hold that top lane. EG stepped off, went for the Shrine, and now they're going to be able to jump onto Sumail. He gets hit with the False Promise, but this is not with his ulti. He didn't even try to pop it. He just knows that his Aegis is going to be there for him, and he might look to fight it out for his second lap. Gabby trying to move him for the rest of him, but now they're hitting him up with the Burrow, with the Epi. He's trying to waltz his way through it. He even mantas it out, but can he still survive? Yes! All of his life now returning as he's able to walk away free. Now looking to return into action, Clutch Gamers. Oh boy, what have we gotten ourselves into now? Sumail's back, and he just quickly knocks down 2, gets a double kill, and just crushes the hopes of CG.
Now he's pulling some ags. Although Arteezy got fed up, he bought his own. He's like, alright, you're not gonna give me an ags, I'll buy one. Look at Sumail, always making me support him. But EG, yeah, at this point I think we can safely say they're through to the next round to verse OG of all teams.
Yeah, really, one of those 2 teams is going to get eliminated in the next round. Both prominents and favorites, even at TI, but it's going to be some good stuff.
Chinese teams are going to be happy to see that. The 2 big bad foreign wolves coming over, the granddaddies, as I might call them, coming over, and you know, one of them will be eliminated.